can't believe it. We are less than 3 weeks away from 2026. And every year I say, I'm going to do a planner video. I'm going to do a planner video. And I never get one up. Well, you know what? Today's the day. Hi, I'm Angela Drake, and welcome to my studio. I want to first off welcome my new subscribers. I've added 6 to my list in the past week, and I am so blessed. Thank you so much. So today we're going to talk about planners that I'm using for 2026, and I'll be showing you ones that I'm getting rid of for the new year. Now, I normally use about 8 planners every year, but I'm not in them every day. I treat my planners like subject folders, and when I do my planning on Sunday, I look at those subject folders and see what needs to move into my workhorse for the week. So it's like flipping through your filing cabinet and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to work on this week. This is what I'm going to work on this week. And bringing them together in one central location. But this year, I'm still going to do that, but with less folders. I'm going to start with my workhorse. That is my everyday. Now, I say that with one caveat. I know what I'm going to use every year, and that's this big, it's a Classic Happy Planner. But I don't use Classic Happy Planner inserts. Instead, I use the HB90 method from Sarra. And I have to tell you, HB90 has changed my organizational life. And I don't feel pressured for things that I'm not getting done anymore, thanks to the HB90 system. And Sarra can explain it so much better than I can, so I'm going to link one of her videos down below. But basically, you still have your 12 months, but you only plan a quarter at a time. So you're only looking at the first 90 days of the month. And so I have to go through and print my 2026 pages for this. I just got my paper in the mail day before yesterday. So I have everything set up. I've created my own dividers from scrapbook papers. I believe these are from Authentique. And I'm a paper crafter as well as a writer, so I have an abundance of paper crafting supplies. And so I've gone through and I've used part of the calendar-ish pages from this collection from Authentique and made my own dividers. Now I have to go in, like I said, and print my monthly. This was my February, and so I've got to go through and print out all my month on 2 pages and then print out my daily pages. But this is my workhorse. At the end on Sundays, I try to come in and fill in my week at a glance of what needs to get done that week, and then I spread them out over the daily pages. I've already pulled my daily pages out of here for the most part. No, I haven't. But here's the thing. This is October. And as you can see, there's nothing on the pages because with her HB90 system, we also use a Kanban board where our tasks all go onto stickies, Post-its on a board, and then as we're working through them, we move them down. And so hardly anything gets written in here. When I set down the last week of the month, I do all my stickies for the next month, and I work from my stickies, and I hardly ever touch my daily pages. I want to change that in 2026. This is still what I'll be using, but I'm going to use these pages more effectively. So that's the one thing that is never, ever going to change in my planning system. Okay, so we have that one out of the way. Now, where do I pull things in from to go into my workhorse? Well, I start with my house blessing planner, and again, this is one that hardly ever gets touched because I know my system. I designed this about 8 years ago, and it still works for me. I do need to go through and recreate these planner pages for these because they're outdated, obviously. Because since I started using my stickies and writing down what I needed to do, I don't use this page anymore. So I've got to come up with a new planner page that I can put in here because I'm going to be designing printouts in Google Docs that my followers on my Homestead channel can use to go through and do their own cleaning Fly Lady kind of house cleaning, house blessing system. So this one I'm going to keep, but I need to add new pages to it, and those I've got to design yet. So there's that. So I've got my workhorse and I've got my house. Now, this is one that is going to go away. This was my 6 months for life. And let me pull up, I had a loose page in here. Let me pull this one out. This is my 6 months for life, also from Sarra Cannon, where we determine areas in our life that we want to change 6 months at a time. So you're creating personal habits over a 6 month period. And so I had it all color coded about what I wanted to do. I had my steps, make sure I get my yogurt in, my water in. But here's the thing. I never touch it. I set it all up and then I hardly ever go back and check things off. So instead of having a separate binder for this, I've got to do one of two things. Either I've got to go ahead and set this up and then on Sunday pull the week's worth out and put it over into my classic workhorse, because these will fit in the classic. The holes will line up in the disc for the classic Happy Planner, and I'm still considering that. But if I don't, I can create these same kind of checkoffs in one of the blocks on my main planner. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to test it for a week and I'll let you know. So this one is probably going to go bye-bye. We shall see. Okay, so this was my 6 months for life. Doubt if I'm going to continue to use it. Okay, so then I have, what have I got left here? Okay, my creative planner. It is a 6-hole in a Agenda 52 binder. This one again I started using, but then I dropped off. So I have all my new pages in here and set up. I just have to go through and date everything. And that's where did that sticker book go that I just had in my hand? That's where this sticker book from the Paper Studio comes in handy. This one is particularly set aside for me to use in my HB90. But let me slip my pages here. Paper Studio products are from Hobby Lobby, as is the Agenda 52 binder. And Paper Studio comes up on sale for 40% off about every 3rd week. But this little sticker book, it gives me everything I need. Gives me my daily date stickers. I can change and use the colored headers. I've got some stickers that I can use that are specific to that month. So, but this one I'm going to keep, because this is how I keep track of my random act of kindness cards to my creatives, my monthly card swap group, and any big projects that I'm working on. Now, I had this all set up for last year, and Bob retired almost a year ago. He came home the 23rd of December for the last time off the boat, and I never got back into this. So I want to come back into this and keep my creative life separate from everything else. But again, I can look and see what needs to be done in a particular week when I plan on Sunday and move that into my workhorse. So this is my creative file folder. Okay. Then there was this one. This was my This Is Your Year. And I had planned out my whole year editorial calendar-wise in this one. But it's a duplicate of something else. So this one can go bye-bye. And file my covers away, put my ring disc, my discs back in their box, and I won't be using this one. Instead, I've got to shift here just a minute, because I don't have things stacked in order. You know, that would be too easy. So everything is going to go into my big plans. And this one, I have it color-coded. My plot or my prep for a new book, my rough draft, the edits, and the publishing. And I'm starting out with the Finish Your Novel Toolkit from Sarra. that helps me draft out where I am. I will aim to write 10 to 12 hours a week. My ideal writing window is between 3 and 7 p.m. and that's when I sprint with my sprint group. And I'm going to keep this all intact in here. Now, I've not decided if I'm keeping these pages or not, because I'm going to be using my Rough Draft Challenge book as a yearly book. And again, these are pages, my dividers I've created using items from Graphic 45 and have flipped through here. Now here's the weekly start, and I don't need this anymore because it's going to be in the next book I'm going to show you. So this is just going to be my monthly writing plan to finish the novels. And I kept this because I like the pages. So this is going to be my year at a glance of what needs to be done every month for finishing and getting my novels written. This is the one I'll be using pretty much in place of that. This is my yearly outline. The green one, the big plans, is going to be my yearly outline. But this is just my Rough Draft Challenge pages. And I will set them up for 3 months at a time. This one is already set up for the November challenge that I didn't do because I was busy working on the house. And so I have this ready to go. Has my sprint calculator to help me figure out how many with my daily word target. If I divide that by 250 to 300 that I normally do on a writing sprint, that I need 2 hours every day to complete my book or to write a book. And then everything is planned out. I have my, how many sprints do I need to do? I need to do 125 of them to do this. And that one got printed and ducked on the wrong side, so I'm going to redo this for an Ozarks Homecoming. But this is how I will work through every book that I'm working on. And I'm striving to finish one, do the edits on one that I got the rights back to, and then start the third book in my series. This is from her Plan Your Writing Year, and with this I can go through and I can set dates that will coordinate with this. So this will probably go in the front of that, but I noticed something when I printed this out, that all my date pages are back to back, and I need my monthly pages behind each of their folders. So I'm going to coordinate with those two. And there's that one. So that is this will be my monthly work through. This is my yearly plan for my writing. Okay. Now, I had a separate planner for social media for the last couple of years. And I was using this teacher layout. And I thought it was really going to work. Let me get to... I set this up to where I had Monday through Sunday. And this was what I was posting to YouTube, to the blog, to the Facebook, to Twitter and Instagram, and my Pinterest board. But I hardly ever opened this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, I have stamps that are the social media icons. And one of the blocks on this page is going to be just for my social media. And I may do, like, pink is my creative, and then stamp my social media icons in pink. Same with the homestead, with my writing, and then with my spiritual. So I could do that and then do the line of the creative social medias. I could do this and then do a line of the creative social medias in the green. And that, I think, will work out better. So this one is no longer going to get used. Now, what do I have sticking out? I have stickers back here that I've designed for this. Actually, I got these from an Etsy shop, and if you're interested in these, you can print them out in whatever color you want. I will link her channel, her Etsy shop down below. Excuse me, it's really early in the morning. I woke up and I knew I needed to get this done, and I couldn't go back to sleep. Do you ever have that problem where you know what you need to get done and you just can't make yourself go to sleep? I'll also link these headers, Days of the Week headers, also on Etsy, and I'll link those for you down below as well. So this one is going to go bye-bye, and instead I'm going to incorporate those into my daily page in my workhorse. So there's another one that goes, bye-bye. And then I have my social media planner. Now this one I'm going to keep. This is my blog. This is my social media planner where I plan what I'm going to do YouTubes on and what I'm going to create posts with, and my blog posts and my videos. And this is another one that I've created the pages, and this is what I had set up. And I use this, but I had 2 pages. I had my videos and my blogs, and right now we're in the author account. So, but then I had my dailies with the dates. This is what would post on Mondays. This was what would post on Tuesdays, blah, blah, blah. But it just wasn't cohesive. And so I had 4 pages behind each account. So that was, where did I find that? That's 20 pages in here where I took and I condensed this down to 1 sheet. So I'm still going to use this, but instead of 2 pages per account, I'm now only using 1. And I still have to put these in. But now I have, I can list my topics of what's going up that day, and then I can use those social media icon stamps again to stamp whether it's a YouTube video or if it's a blog post or if it's both. And then that can go on here. So we are down to, I have this binder. This is all my stickies. I've created my own post-it notes for my Kanban board. So this one, and these are why I use my planners very little, because once I fill my stickies out and get them up on the Kanban board, I'm good. I know exactly what needs to be done. But I need to remember other dates in that workhorse planner. So there's that one. So this is my social media. We're keeping it. This is my yearly plans. We're keeping it. This is my rough draft challenge of completing the books, daily stages of what scene I'm working on that day. If something interrupted me, write what it was so that I'm learning what stumbles come along my path. Then I have my creative planner. So I've eliminated 3 planners basically. So I'm down to 4 planners plus my workhorse and my daily, or my house planner. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have my reading journal. Now this went from being a 2024 to being a 2025. And my challenge with this is I have everything set up, but I never go through and print out my pictures to fill it in. So we're going to work on that this month, or this year. And because I have lots of books that I need to get read, I have a huge 5 shelf. Let me see if I've got a picture of it in here. This is all books on my TBR pile that I need to read, and I want to go through and get those read because I need that bookcase for something else. And the only way to do that is get those books read. I may condense that and go through each shelf and say, okay, this one I definitely want to read. Yeah, this one can go. And narrow down what I need, but there's over 300 books on that 5-book shelf. So there's that. And that's it for me for my planners this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, back down to 8. So there we go. Except for my workhorse, it's not over here. There's my planner lineup for 2026. Now, I will be doing videos walking you through each of the different planners as I'm setting them up more completely. But this is what I know I need to do. Also, I'm going to link the paper and pen girl down in the description box. She is doing, this is like year 8 of her Vlogmas series on planning. And it's a really good series. So I'm going to link that down below. Instead of curling up with a book this time around, curl up and binge watch the videos from her participants in the Vlogmas challenge. And I will see you back here the first Wednesday in January, which I believe is the 7th, and we'll start walking through these planners one at a time. In the meantime, I am done for the holidays. I'm going to enjoy the next 2 weeks with my husband and get my house ready for Christmas. In the meantime, please remember to like, to share, subscribe, because I'm still hoping to hit 50 subscribers by Christmas. And I'm only 6 subscribers away, so hear me out. And let's hit my mark. And in the meantime, I'll be working on things that I can help you be more productive. All my best.